welcome in. Well, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Welcome back to Do It for the Story.
I'm Morgan.
And I'm Stacey. And yeah, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the weather outside is... Thank you for coming along. Today we're doing a sing-along.
That was gorgeous, actually. I
Oh
really
my
love
God.
that tune. Yeah.
Wow, I'm not, I'm usually a little off-key, so...
No, I felt like it was perfect.
Well, I love that because let's just scrap what
Run,
we're
run,
talking about.
run,
And we're
run,
going to do
run, run.
live carols. So turn it on and bring the kids.
Not the first time that... Did you ever do carols with me, or was that just me and my girlfriends from home?
I did caroling, but no, like with random friends, not with your girlfriends from home.
Oh my God. Me and my girlfriends from home, we were so cute. In high school and in college, we would back road.
And explain backroading for those who are maybe city slickers.
Yeah. So
because I referenced that in another episode, and we never really said.
Yeah. So we would go from, and we had a designated driver, but we would go from our grandparents, each of our grandparents' houses. So we all, we were typical small town girls. Like our parents were from there, our grandparents were from there. And so we would literally go to each of our grandparents' homes. We would pick a night and surprise them. And we would literally sing Christmas carols. We would have from my friend's mom was a music teacher. So she would have music sheets for us. Yeah.
Little caroler
Yeah, we had
sheets.
music sheets. And it made their freaking nights. All of the grandparents, of course, they thought we were the cutest. We would always end at Grandma and Grandpa's, our grandparents, Grandma and
because
Grandpa
they
Muir.
had drinks.
Yeah, and because they would have drinks and they would give us stuff, and Grandpa would always hand us at least $20 as we walked out. We'd go, I swear to God, we'd go find someone that could buy us a 30-pack. And we keep on driving, but the back roading is just riding around the mountains.
Dead.
Somebody's driving you, and you're riding around because there's no place to go.
True. I remember you guys doing that, and it was a long time ago. Like I wasn't even thinking that you weren't 21 in college because
No.
Yeah, I remember you saying like, oh, we had a 30-pack. But I wasn't even thinking, like, was Grandpa
There
offering you beers?
There might have definitely been a time where we were actually of age. I don't remember, honestly, how many times we literally did it. But
because I remember you guys did
it was more so like
Uncle
high school,
Jack
college.
was alive.
Yeah, and that was when, that was his last Christmas because he was really bad. And that was my freshman year he passed.
Right.
So exactly. Like,
we were
young.
19.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it was a good group of us. There was at least 6, and there was some of us that had, like we did, double grandparents. So we would go to a lot of people's houses.
That
double
is
local grandparents.
So funny.
Yeah.
But also great. And it's like feel
so
good.
cute.
Even
Yes.
yesterday when we were, speaking of caroling, when we were driving to, we went to the, the Colonial Players in Annapolis. They had what was it, like a night of St. Nicholas or something? It was their little Christmas play.
Yeah.
Which is the Colonial Players, if you haven't been, or it's really cute. It was my first time going, but it was the theater in the round. They usually do like Shakespearean style.
Yeah.
And so it was super intimate, really cute venue. But on the way there, we're, of course, driving through Annapolis and, or downtown, I should say. And, it is a Hallmark movie right now. You've probably seen me reposting on Instagram, different reels. And everything's decorated, the tree lighting, the kids, Little Diva and Angel were freaking out in the car. Look at this, there's Santa, there's this, there's a tree. And then we turn, and there is literally a real piano. Like, we're not talking somebody brought their keyboard.
I know, right? I didn't even think about that in the moment because we were rushing into the play. Where did they haul that from?
And a group of carolers, I don't know. But there was a real piano and group of carolers just caroling.
Right on Main Street.
It is, Annapolis is a Hallmark movie.
And it wasn't just a group of carolers. There were 15 people
easily.
Easily.
It was an organized, it was like a choir.
It wasn't like me and my girlfriends, like 6, 7 of us. This was a full-on 15 to 20 person choir.
It was so cute.
So cute.
And Midnight Madness started last week.
Yeah.
We talked about that, I think, before, like the shop local. They keep the shops open later on Thursday nights, and they have a Christmas market downtown by
like
City Dock.
Animal, like the llama, the place that sells those like llama sweaters they always have.
Yeah. And then I saw next weekend, which is new, at Horn Point Marina.
Oh my God, I know where Oscars is.
Yeah, where the coffee shop, that's super cute. Little coffee shop trailer.
Yeah. So more shop local or like a maker, like if really enforcing the shop local. So
they're having like a Christmas party. So like we love those things.
Love those
about
things.
the holiday season.
Yeah.
The caroling, the lights, cozy time.
Yeah, thinking of each other, you know.
Cease and I got our little tree yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, you love those little things. Also, the weather's been really freaking
got
cold. We went from like 70 on Halloween to
It was
30s with the wind. The wind has been wild.
Yeah,
here.
luckily yesterday because it was in the 20s, but it finally wasn't windy. But yeah, so it's been cold.
Yeah, so sometimes you need
the things to kind of brighten
it up,
Yeah.
make you have a little bit more cozy time,
Right.
or also just feel like, oh, it's hot cocoa and cookie season.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But that's not to say hot cocoa and cookie season doesn't cause fucking chaos.
Chaos. I mean, it's that there's so many things from the moment from Thanksgiving all the way through New Year's. I mean, it's just the laundry list of everything. It's like whether it's the party for, you know, work, or the party for school, or the party for your neighborhood, or somebody's doing a cookie bake, and all of those things are really nice to be able to say, like, I'm having something, you're invited, like, let's think of each other, let's get together. Yeah. But when it feels like your schedule is overwhelming, and then on top of it, the focus can feel like gifts is the focus, and not only spending money, whether you have it or you don't, spending money in ways that you're like, am I buying something for someone that then's going to just like sit in a box?
Right.
You know?
Or the pressure of, I'm buying for the person who has everything.
What do I get?
What do I get? Or if they're like somebody that is more judge, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, what's their reaction going to be? But yeah, just the general, like, it's something else that's on the to-do list.
Yeah, exactly. And because the thing is, this time of year in corporate America then is like Q4, or even if it's not your Q4, then it's, retail, this is the time to make a bunch of money, or we got to push because everybody's going to take 2 weeks off around the holidays. Yep. So everybody's working like crazy. And it's overwhelming.
Right.
And it's constant.
And it's like, I don't have kids yet, you know, so, and honestly, I work in a remote environment now. So the days of the holiday party.
Thank God, me too. I'm like,
you know, which was a blast in my 20s.
A blast in my 20s.
After, I'm thinking of the people, now I think back, especially when I worked at younger, like literally young company startups that then had a younger demographic in terms of age of employees. And I remember the like one or two people that actually had kids thinking this has to suck for them, because not everybody else is thinking about that they have a school play to go to, the holiday recital and the birthday parties, and that this, you know, holiday, a lot of work parties were during the week, or like on a Thursday or a Friday.
Yeah.
And some people, when we worked in DC, especially if you had kids, more likely were living in the suburbs. So you're like driving in, getting a sitter, or just you are going and your husband's
not. Think about when they would drive in and out that day, because they're going out to the suburbs because they have to put the kids down. Yeah. They have to feed them. They got to do the reset. So there's a handoff. And then they're getting ready and they're driving back in. Can you imagine? That's Gen X definitely got screwed on that. I think of those stressful, and then it's on top of it. You're also the gifts that you're buying for all of the kids and all of the, you know, and you say like, I don't have kids yet, but you still, you know.
You have families, and depending on what people's traditions are, but that's the other thing, work. I used to have to buy gifts at work.
Oh my God.
It used to drive me nuts. This was never going to a holiday party that work is sponsoring, that, you know, and of course we were again at companies that had stupid budgets or now went under for a reason. That the holiday parties were ridiculous. I mean, you went to some of them. I tried to take a sister as a date to each one of them. And so it was fun. You're partying. It's a free tab. You know, we get to get dressed up, all the things, when we usually were wearing like sweats to work because we're startup kids. And, but when there was always one person on the team that'd be like, we should do Secret Santa. And I'm going, what? The people that were saying that typically were the ones that didn't celebrate Christmas like as a kid. And like, no, you know, I'm just saying like you can celebrate Christmas as the, you know, just the commercial. That's what Christmas is half the time for anybody. You know, we know there's the Christ in Christmas, but let's be real. What people focus on is not. That's why they call it the fair weather, you know, going to.
Right.
It's like when we were Catholic and would go to 4:30 Christmas Eve Mass and all of a sudden you're like, where the hell did these people come from?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't see y'all Sunday.
No.
You know, but just then you have to get the Secret Santa gift and do the whole thing. And now it's like you're saying, I don't have kids, but it's, yes, I have the nieces and nephews that Christmas is for the kids. I like getting them something. It's not stressful because they're also young. Mm-hmm. Then I'm usually going, hey, Morg, what are the needs? You know, are there shoe sizes we need? Mm-hmm. Is this outgrown?
Take something off my plate. The shoes is always really helpful.
Yeah.
Which Angel doesn't need them right now.
I know. That's why I was like, I'm doing projects this year.
Right. Which is great. When you said that and you were like, you know, I'm going to do projects. I'm like, that's awesome because literally, and I said to Stace as we were, you know, this is part of why this became our pod topic because I'm like, Angel plays more with trash than he does with actual toys. The kid is obsessed with projects.
He's an artist.
He's an artist. I just literally save all of my recycling, egg cartons, toilet paper roll, give him glue, paint, scissors.
He's good.
He's good.
His mother's son.
He is good. But also, he will be entertained for forever. And then guess what? At the end of it, in a week, when he's fully forgotten and he's moved on from that project, it goes in the recycling bin. It's not a piece of plastic toy that he's going to use 3 times and then sits in a basket somewhere.
And that you have to, and because it's like a toy or a big plastic thing, even if he's not interested in it, you always see that with kids too. Like I see it with friends, like with baby toys. I'm like, is your kid really playing with all these stuffed animals? Because I wasn't. I used to have one of those chains. Remember those 90s thing?
Oh my God.
Kiki and I had a chain in our room, a plastic chain that then we flipped our stuffed animals. And I'm like, what was I doing?
What were we doing?
Why did I save those? I never played with a stuffed animal. Dolls, yeah. Barbies, yeah.
I had a couple stuffed animals that I loved. Remember that?
And that's fine.
Remember that Max dog? Like I called him cute. Max from. It was so cute.
And you also got secondhand.
It was secondhand, but Max. It looked just like the Max dog on Little Mermaid. Cute. It was so cute, but I love that. But yeah, exactly. You have those couple things.
Every
that you
kid
loved.
has those things, but like the big teddy bear you got at the fucking carnival.
No, or like the huge bin of, you know, the stuffed animals and things. But anyway, but back to our point of like, you know, it's all of the consumption. And in this moment of, you know, when you see Ghana is pulling out tons of clothing, fast fashion every day out of the ocean. I mean, I'm sorry. It is absolutely bizarre to me.
It's gross.
The whole push of buy these things. You need this from Amazon, fast fashion. You need the new trend.
Yeah, it's gross.
I mean, it is gross. And I'm sorry, you can't say I care about global warming and then at the same time be signed up for one of those like month of the month club. Like, why do you need a new sports bra pair of spandex every month? I think it's fucking bizarre.
I don't get that. And it's also like, can we not? I remember getting shamed actually. Speaking of this, when I lived in Baltimore and like, this is in 27, I'm in my 30s. I'm still in my 30s. So this is in 2017, 2018. And I dated this guy briefly who happened to go to the same gym that I did. And if you know, you know, and I'll just say it. The Canton Merritt gym.
Was it beautiful? Poppin'?
It was a nice facility, but it was a scene. Like I remember walking in the first day and I was like, okay, this is odd. I've never felt so like I'm in high school, like everybody looking at me.
Oh, people were in outfits at
Girls
the gym?
were contoured for the gym. They were wearing white spandex pants and a white sports bra, matching sets. And I'm in there in my mesh shorts from, honestly, that I've had since college, right? And a t-shirt and a sports bra because I'm there to work out. I'm just like, grabbed what I had, you know?
I'm sorry. If you can't see me, I just realized my mouth was open because I'm thinking of me going to the gym this week. And I literally was in like half the time I was in like I had like a gifted tank top on, but most of the time I was literally wearing high school sweatpants. I thought I'm like touching this nasty equipment. I actually don't want anyone to look at me or talk to me.
I always like a legging, just like I feel better in like leggings, especially like ones that little compression if I'm like lifting or something. But this was not
to be contoured.
This was not. Oh gosh, the makeup, and not everybody was coming from work because there was also like people that I knew or like knew of that were more shift employees. And I'm like, there's no way you just got off your shift. It's like, 10 a.m., contoured, got the hat. It's a full look. So many dudes with the phones aligning in the mirror. And these were not trainers that I get it if you have to do content for your business. That's different. No. These were people that were filming themselves like Flex Friday. But anyway, I say this because I show up and I had joined the gym and the one day, they give you like a free personal training session or something.
Right.
And I'm wearing the shorts and the t-shirt. And the guy that I was dating was like, oh, we've got to improve like your workout gear. And I was like, what? And honestly, I wasn't offended. I was like laughing about it because I was literally wearing stuff from high school. I was like, these are my lucky, I was like, always brought me luck, And
Which
then
ones
I'm
were
looking
they,
around. It was like, I think I was literally wearing a t-shirt I had since middle school, like my CYA Catoctin basketball.
I was going to say, was it because my Catoctin basketball, I finally had to get rid of them. The elastic was totally disgusting. I was like, now I'm just holding on to it
I had to get rid of
like
those,
a hoarder.
I mean, like just t-shirt though. I had that t-shirt on and like some lacrosse shorts. And he literally was like, and I was like, what? He goes, well, like just get some other gear. And I mean, was I complaining that the guy then went to Lululemon and got me clothes? No,
I'll take that. But yeah.
But I was like, because I said, I am absolutely not doing that. I'm fine. I said, I'm an athlete. The difference is a lot of people in here just learned how to exercise on their own. Like, I'm just in here to get some work done and I'm going home. Like, I'm not spending, I'm a single person. So the money I'm spending is not on my wardrobe at the gym. I was not one of those girls that was looking to meet a guy at the gym. In fact, it's so annoying to me getting approached, but yada.
Yeah.
I was shamed. And then it was a thing. And then I'm looking around. I'm like, no other woman here is wearing like just their, like what I would say gym, like high school, like gym or like your practice clothes.
So weird to me.
And they all had matchy.
But yeah, I mean, we got off on that tangent, which I love because I think it's funny. I was literally having this conversation with someone this week, just strange, but it's the consumption that I find at this time of year and which bleeds then it's the sale after Christmas. I find it very hypocritical if you're saying that you are concerned about global warming, and I find it very odd to want to waste money that way. I don't know about anybody else, but like I don't got money to waste,
Yeah.
Like it's like we could do. I'm totally down. Like, honestly, I'm like you could give Angel going to a thrift store and finding something like he's not gonna freaking know.
Right. And especially the way people do buy for their kids. Like when we were kids, that wasn't an option because we didn't have like all these brands. One, accessible. It wasn't number one, no online shopping. Mm-hmm. Two, like it was literally like a trip to go to the mall because it was far from us. And you didn't have all these kid specific brands. Now there's way more retailers that see this niche, know that it's people want to spend and they want to post their kids on Instagram and the cute little look. And all the things that it's like the way people spend and the way kids grow, just go to the thrift store for your kids' clothing. Literally, all the time.
All of Angel's clothes are hand-me-downs. And mom just this morning.
And he's an only child.
And mom just this morning was like, oh my God, he has so much clothes. And I go, it's crazy. I've only bought him like a couple, literally I could count on less than two hands the number of clothing items that I've
honestly,
bought him.
Even as gifts, I haven't bought him. Shoes are different, but I haven't bought him many
hand-me-downs.
I did when he was younger, but no. And it's like, I get it that some people, like the love language is gift giving. And so no discredit. If you love it, that's your thing. But it's like you were saying,
don't buy just to buy.
Can you go shop local at a minimum?
Exactly.
Can you
shop
like give
local.
money back into
the
your community and to your local economy? Because, you know, going buying something off Amazon, that's not helping Annapolis.
No. Mm-mm.
It's, you know, it's helping UPS, FedEx, the Postal Service.
And it's also living in denial of the state that we're in. You know, come on.
Yeah.
Mountains of clothing. It's bizarre.
It's so weird.
And I think I think too, it's like I have always, I probably because of even like when we were kids, we were thrifting. I mean, I remember the first time I went and bought something new at the mall, I remember the first time new at the outlets. I was like 6th grade. Everything else we were usually thrifting, or it was like we were heading to the dollar store. You know, we were limited.
Yeah, like we got
funds,
the new stuff was gifts, but like the random. We went to school wearing uniforms, so we weren't
buying a bunch of stuff. We were getting dirty after school, and so, I just have always loved thrifting and vintage, and
it's also the hunt
for it. And I get some people get overwhelmed with that, but I think I just also it's the fact that the cheaper clothing doesn't last. So then I would think of that when I was in DC in my 20s and had to be in the office every day and had to be dressed. It was not, you know, it was technically business casual when we're talking about DC. I wasn't wearing a suit, but I was wearing heels and a skirt and I was put together every day. Yeah. And so I'm going into, you know, vintage shops, consignment shops, and I'm buying something for $50 that is going to last me for a lifetime versus the $50 thing from Zara that's going to fall apart within a season or two. And I know some people are going to be like, I have stuff from Zara that I've had for forever. And if you have, I have these pants on from Gap. They do, you know, I buy them because I need something light because of all my weird body things that doesn't touch my skin. And, you know, I'm going to buy something new when I need it. But my regular, that can't be. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. I think, and I hunt through my closet. I also don't believe in this whole like, if you didn't wear it last year, get rid of it. Because it's going to be something that you're going to want to wear in 3 years. If you don't have any room and you're moving and it's something that's falling apart, sure, get rid of it. But I'm not that person. I have shopped my closet for 20 years.
Curated,
yes.
Too. And you also have someone that, you know, and I get it, not everybody can wear the clothes they wore, bodies change, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I do the same thing. I mean, it's just like you're saying, I do go through seasonally and I'll clean out my closet with stuff that is like,
you know, you're not going to wear again. You're like, that's actually my style anymore. This has actually
been the however many seasons. That's just like a cheap piece.
That's
like, whatever. Really that was a fast fashion thing that's okay to get rid of, like the tank tops. And but same. I'm like, no, like dresses for weddings. It's like, you know, I always think of our grandma Muir, our mom's mom. She wore to like probably my college graduation, a dress that she wore to my uncle's.
Yeah.
And she was always like, and to me, that's a flex. Her body, she could still fit in the dress. It still looked good on her. It was classic. It was timeless. Like, do I need a new look?
Well, and you know what's interesting? You saying that, it was always a thing that she would say. And I mean, her and I, all of us, I think, but always, she would always touch my clothes. Ooh, I love that fabric. And we would talk about where we found it, how we found it, what random thing it was, who gave it to us, how long we were going to have it. And I've worn this 15 times. Yeah. And you didn't even notice it because I changed it up because to us, it was part of the story. It was the adventure.
Right.
And it was the understanding that I literally can give this coat that I have absolutely to my kid that I have from mom.
I mean, yeah, there's stuff. I got a vintage, it was a leather trench coat last year at a vintage or a consignment store here. That I got for $40.
Yep.
That I've gotten more compliments on. And people asking me, where'd you get that jacket? And I'm looking at the label. It's definitely was an 80s coat, maybe even 70s, the way the style of it and even the, you know, the brand. Cause I've tried to, that's what's fun too. I'll like Google what the brand was. And a lot of times it's also like made in France or made in Sicily.
I'm glad you bring that
different.
up. It's
not made in China.
No.
I have a lot of made in America. Like think of all the Pendleton blazers you have.
I swear to God, you're in my head. I was actually just going to say Pendleton. And I get so many compliments all the time. And people are like, where'd you get that jacket? Actually, it's funny. My friend just said this, who was in visiting us from out of town. She's like, I'm obsessed with that blazer. You're inspiring me. I need to go buy it. And she says, where'd you get it? And I said, it's Pendleton. She goes, ooh, fancy. I said, no. I said, I don't think this is vintage. I got it. It's like old.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
And if you don't know Pendleton is they're known for made in America, wool, like really, and you'll see that the beautiful blankets, patterns. Beautiful patterns. But yeah, like and again, everyone's different, but it's how we're being fed now.
Yeah, that like you can't wear something twice.
Your kid has to look a certain way.
Yeah.
They need to be matchy. Everybody's in beige this year. You know,
the style.
And I'm the same as you, where it's just like I saw something the other day. It was like a meme on Instagram, and it was a woman that was probably like our age, and they were like, when they tell you, it was something like, when you are wearing the type of jeans that you wore. And I'm like, yeah, I do have jeans that I kept from high school that are now more in style that I still wear. Go me. I can still wear them. You know, depending on the time, the season, whatever, you know, if I'm in my lower phase.
Truth.
But shirts, jackets, like I've got, should I say I have furs? I mean, I have a faux fur.
Vintage fur. I've always had a hard time with fur, but vintage fur, it's like it was already done. It's you're not buying new fur.
It was a look.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you get like we
could go on and on.
We could go on and on because it is. I do also. The last thing I'll say about the the consignment is, I think I mentioned on another episode about me loving now. My new thing is consignment or estate sales.
Estate sales. I got this jacket at a estate sale.
This
is literally
that's a members only
jacket. I got it for like $15-$20. I get so many compliments on it. Everything I get compliments on is, and then I go like this, and all my friends who know me and friends and family who know me are like,
it's vintage.
Okay, what's the story? Here she goes.
Yeah. Where'd you get it?
Okay. Oh my! Without being asked, it's probably I'm like, oh, thanks. I got it at consignment. I got it.
It's vintage. It's vintage. It's warehouse.
But back to you.
But no, I started just like furniture for our house and stuff, which I always did. Like my first apartment, it's expensive to furnish, and also when you're moving around and you live in a city that's, you're living in 300 to 500 square feet studios, you're like, why would I ever try to buy brand new to furnish an apartment that I'm going to be in for a year, maximum 2? And also hard to find things that are small. And I was like wanting good quality things. So I would go to a lot of we both did flea markets.
My whole entire apartment.
I'm looking around. You can't see this. We're in my basement. There's like that table. I have a coffee table down here that I got from Aunt Pat and Uncle Jack that I don't know if it was new when they got it, but it's definitely from the quality. 50s, 1950s, like hardwood. It's not, particle board, but the estate sale websites. And I don't even want to give away the one that I'm using local because you don't want to bid against me. Morgan knows when the estate sale ends and I get some of my items, but I'm talking cool stuff that is quality. It's like wood furniture. But the thing is, when I'm looking at these estate sale sites, because some of them are people downsizing, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're moving to Florida or whatever. And some of them are like, we're putting mom and dad into a home, which people could be like, oh my God, it's kind of sad. Yeah, it is. But when you look at that and you think, guess what we're all going to do? There's 2 guarantees in life. You're born and then you die. I look around my home now and I'm like, oh my God, what can I get rid of? Mm-hmm. That I won't have to have my future child handle, or that won't just become some just crap.
Mess is stress.
And like one man's trash is another man's treasure. Right? But yeah, I see some of these consignment sales or these estate sales and it's just loads
it's also not
trinkets, tchotchkes,
oh my God,
dishes, china.
But when you go, I slam on the brakes. I slammed on the brakes to get this jacket. I saw estate sale happening here in Eastport, slammed on the brakes, pulled over, and thought maybe I was going to get a rug. And then I walked out with this jacket. everybody's happy. Everybody wins.
Oh, no. And I'm saying
no,
go.
no, I know you're saying go. And I'm saying, I agree. I'm saying whether it's online or if it's, I pump those brakes because you might. And the other thing is too, I'm not knocking if you want to spend your money, if that's how you get off, I'm just saying, can we try and not add to the current problems that we have in this world?
Yeah.
Can you just pull over, support a local business and buy something from a vintage shop?
If gifting is your love language, well, I'll tell you what.
Functional gift. I will take a functional gift all day, every day. You want to buy me a box of meat sticks? You want to buy me, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, it's like, here, I'll bring up Morgan. We've got to say you on every pod. He was like, I always say to my mom, you want to get me a gift? Get us paper towels, toilet tissue, like, the things for your house. Like when they joke about when you would go home from college and like shop your parents' Costco storage basement, It's like, functional, but also like if gifting is your love language. And gifts are not my love language.
Right. Clearly, they're not either mine.
Right. They are not.
Yeah.
But no judgment. Because I know some people, they really love it.
And they're good at it.
And they're great at it. And it brings them joy. Don't then... If gifting is your love language, you can't be mad that... Here's a good example. Someone that loves gifting and physical touch is one of my top love languages. Totally. Right? I'm not going to go up to a person and be like, oh, I'm a hugger. And if they're like, I don't really like to be touched, be like, fucking, come on, hug me, embrace me. If you want to get me a gift, that's on you. You can't make me feel like I need to get you a gift because you like giving gifts.
Exactly. You know what also that's like? It's the same as the parties. I appreciate, because gift giving is the same as hosting. I do love to host. Mm-hmm. I don't like to host I host for Thanksgiving. It's our immediate family. We're doing that. I am not going to host a Christmas party for 50 people. That's not my time to do that. But some people love to host a Christmas party.
Yeah, they love going back to back.
And I am happy for you. And I am always appreciate being invited, because maybe there is one year that I'm able to go. I'm not stressed. I don't have whatever going on. But you should understand, if you are throwing any kind of party during the holiday season, you can't expect anybody to come. And when I say holiday season, I mean really absolutely the weekend before Thanksgiving, but I might even say 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Yeah. I think it's that time all the way through the weekend after New Year's. If you are hosting a party, you should never think that anyone's obligated to come, because everybody has 15 things on that weekend.
Yeah. No, that's so true.
So I don't care if it's a baby shower. I don't care if it's a birthday party. I don't care what it is, or your work holiday party. You cannot expect me to RSVP yes because I have 15 RSVPs in my box.
Yeah. And you're like, and to that point, there's a lot going on. It's still winter. It's also sick season. So you're like, sometimes I just need to do less. And maybe I want to have just a cozy weekend. Like Joe and I will joke and say, like, we need a COVID weekend. Like,
I love that.
The other weekend I wasn't feeling well, and I was like, you love this because I'm on the property. That's our bit in COVID was stay on the property.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I'm on the property, I can't go anywhere. Right. And he's like, I know, it makes life a lot easier. He's like, no plans, calendar's free. Right. He's like, I'm like, oh, what do you want for dinner? I know where you, not right. like I know where you are, but like, we're just here hanging out. Want to watch a movie a little bit? Right. He's obviously much more of a homebody than me, obviously. Right. But it's just like, you sometimes need that time.
Need it.
And as a family unit, for you, JD and Angel, to have just a Saturday, you do the cookie bake at your house for you and Angel and JD, because it's a fun little family thing, rather than like, hey, Jessica's mommy is having a cookie bake in your class and I've got to bring a dozen of our favorite cookies. Okay.
Right. And I'm not saying also even to that, I'm maybe like, oh, hey, Angel, let's invite the cousins over. Where I'm saying, oh, I'm taking the cousins off of my sister-in-laws and my brother-in-laws, but I'm not, that's a last minute. I texted you that morning. We're doing cookies. You want to come by? I'm not, it's just when it becomes too much all at one time and it feels like it's just adding to the list.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's, it's a lot of it's just a lot of the adding to the list. And I saw this thing on Instagram the other day of like that women, take on the brunt of these holiday things. And so they do. But I also, and they do, we know that. So shout out to all the women and the moms and all of it, the matriarchs.
That are making Christmas
happen. But I will also say, this is also my point though. Some of it is do less. The husband isn't wrong. When JD said to me, came home with a fake tree, and I was kind of shocked.
Previous years, you've always done real.
And I was kind of surprised. Here's what had happened. My brother and sister-in-law got a fake tree. I was helping put it together. Thanksgiving. JD and I have a side convo. Oh yeah, it's nice not to have to deal with pine needles. It's typical husband and wife thing. JD takes that as we've decided to get fake tree. Then next day, like somehow randomly, because everyone's always giving out stuff in Eastport on like just the side of down at the bottom of their driveway. JD and Angel go on a walk. They see this bag that says fake tree, good condition. Bring it home. They're so excited. Fake tree's opened. There's only a top in the fake tree. So then yet again, I was like, I was thinking to myself, I said out loud, oh, cool, you guys found a fake tree, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm thinking free tree. And I say, oh, we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, if we don't like it, we won't do it next year. Again, JD takes that as, now I'm going to Home Depot. I thought he's picking up a real tree. He comes home with fake. Best thing that ever happened to us.
Right.
So easy to maintain. There's no needles. Nobody's crawling underneath to water it. Angel's not knocking things over.
The watering is real.
It was a mess. Stormy the dog isn't knocking it over and getting into all the things.
Trying to eat it.
And, JD was like, yeah, do less. It's just like with us years ago, I said to him, I was like, I'm not doing these Christmas cards. I said, I'm changing it to Valentine's cards. I'm doing in February when I don't have anything else going on. I'm saying, hey, love you all. Happy Valentine's Day, because I can't handle one more thing on my list.
That's a good one. And I will say, our mom still sends out a family Christmas card, and I love getting it.
I love getting all the cards.
And I will tell you, in this is just, no one come for me, because I'm always having, the only thing I have done where I'm sending out mass amounts of postage is wedding invitations and wedding thank you notes, which I had a COVID wedding. I had 60 guests. So it was nothing compared to, even the payment of postage. That shit's expensive.
Dude, it's insane.
But the timing different when I'm having a wedding. And again, it was COVID wedding, so it was also expedited. But when you're like, oh my gosh, Thanksgiving just happened. Did we get the holiday card? We get the photo. What are we doing for the thing? And then to get it printed, and then to get them back, and then to stamp them and get the postage and mail it out, spend the money on it. I'm like, respect to those that are still doing it. I think it is sweet for if you don't, what the Christmas card used to be, which is we don't see you. It's a happy holiday. Then there's a lot of y'all that are already posting what your holiday card is before you've even sent it out to me. And I'm like,
I know, which is funny.
Like, you don't have to send it to me. Like, seriously. And I say that in the nicest way. I love getting it, but I'm also like, don't feel like you need to. It's just like I tell my girlfriends, please don't send me. The worst is when I'm at a baby shower and they're like, oh, here, put your return address to make it easier for mom to send the thank you note. And I'm like, it's 2024. You just told me thank you in person. It was heartfelt. I love that. You also could shoot me a text or not. I say to my girlfriend sometimes, please do not write me a thank you note.
I know. I'm
it's
the exact
another
same way.
Thing. And then when people are like, oh, you have to write your thank yous. That's what people do. I'm like, I don't remember grandma having to make sure she was looking at her Microsoft Teams and her Outlook and her regular Gmail and her, podcast Gmail and her.
And yeah, exactly.
We can't compare 2024 to 1954.
Well, and not only that, but you're saying the technology piece, but also let's say the thing, millennial women, Gen X, those of us that are moms right now, most parents, most families, both parents have to be working financially. Yeah. It's not like most when our mom,
at least there's multiple jobs.
Multiple jobs, exactly. And it's not like in the 80s when you had a lot of moms, and I know there's some stay-at-home parents. You had a lot of, moms or dads, and mostly in the 80s it was moms that I knew of. staying home because you could make it, like we've talked about before, on that one salary. So it's yet again, it's the financial piece, but it's also grandma wasn't working sending out those cards. It's not just that, we're connected in all these other ways.
At that time. I mean, she did work, but.
Yeah, she did. But I'm saying there was a significant amount of time off.
Significant amount of time off.
And same with mom, significant amount of time off. There's no option for, I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah, the internet never sleeps.
No.
And I say that just with my job, like our jobs, like obviously we work remote, so it's the internet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like to your point too about how that was the best thing that ever happened with the fake tree. It's like, I love how you said that of JD thought it was a sign off of
get the fake.
Definitely getting the fake. And then it's the best thing that happened. It's also just sometimes like,
do less,
but in the holiday moments, it's like Cease and I, when we were dating, like our first Christmas together, but we weren't living together. He was like, oh, I love getting the Christmas tree day after Thanksgiving. And I'm like, well, that's early. Because again, I'm thinking, wow, we're bopping right in. I'm not there yet. But then I was like, this is a single guy who owns a home that likes putting up a tree. How cute is this? Versus like the other Scrooges of my past who were like, holidays, my holiday trauma. And I'm like, okay, I'm going with this. He also was inviting me along. It wasn't something I had, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, and I said, it's funny because growing up, we always put up the tree later, and then we would keep it up when we were Catholic till Little Christmas, which is is it January 6th?
Oh, yeah, I think oh God, yeah. Ooh, I think so. Something like that.
Anyway, you keep it up for when the three wise men were coming to see Jesus. That's what it was. And so we would keep it up. But this is now when you're a kid. And I just can think of even like our house, like you'd have like your pile under the tree, and we would leave some of our gifts under that tree for a while.
I know.
So I'm like, for mom to even allow my pile of like clothes and whatever little gifts I have to be in that living room.
I know. From
December 25th to then into, beyond
New
Year's. My need, everything has
your
a place.
Chest is tight.
My chest is tight.
Yeah.
I'm overstimulated.
Yeah, overstimulated.
And so I was like, said to Joe when we got the first tree and that Christmas season, I said, you know what I like? Because then Christmas came. And I think we kept it up until New Year's, and then we took it down. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I like this. Like, let's just get it out of the way. Because then I get tired of seeing it because it's in my space. Especially when you have a big tree, you realize like how much space it's taking up. And like you're saying, with the needles and the stuff.
It's like me not being able to have flower arrangements around my house.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
I had to text everybody. I brought arrangements for Thanksgiving. I said, Morgan, I got the centerpieces. I'm going to get some flowers from Trader Joe's or whatever. She's like, okay, great, thanks. And then I realized when I was in there, I just was not really paying attention. And I was like, oh, shit. When I got in the car, I was like, I think I overdid it. Because I was getting flowers to take to my in-laws. And so I texted all the sisters, like, please don't bring Morgan flowers. She gets very overwhelmed by having multiple vases out in her home.
It's just more things. It's
another thing to clean around.
It's another thing to clean around. And then the things are falling off of it. And I'm like...
And then some of the flowers are dying, and you have to start like maintaining
it. I'm like, I mean, it might sound like I'm looking for 20 minutes to meditate. I'm not trying to rearrange fucking flower arrangements that are dying. Yeah. Like it doesn't bring me joy.
No.
But yeah, so it's the same. It's like even with the tree too. I'm also so relieved that I don't have that many ornaments now.
Oh,
I just, I mean. And the people, when they do the themes and like keeping it, it's the same kind of thing. It's like, who told us that you have to do the thing that your parents did, or that you have to put every little thing out?
New house, new traditions.
New house, new traditions.
And I loved all the traditions we had growing up. You're a kid, you love it. And it's like, no, just cry, Mom, if you're listening. We love you. We love the traditions.
It's fine.
But it is also something I have learned seriously as I have learned more about my ADHD.
Exactly.
I understand why sometimes it's too much for me.
Too much.
Like I love to decorate the outside of my house. Mm-hmm. I love a wreath. I love to do a swag and some lights. Because again, like you're saying with Angel and the projects, the swag's going in the trash. The lights, I'm rolling up, I'm putting away. That's no big deal. And it looks cutesy.
It looks cute.
On my street, my little block, everybody does their lights.
Also, if you don't want to do lights, don't do them. But
totally.
but if you love it, you love it.
It's not in my space.
Exactly.
I'm not cleaning around the wreath that's in the center of my table. You know, I have the little, and even Joe and I this year, I was like, babe, Christmas or Thanksgiving was, later. I'm like, we got the tree yesterday because we still were doing like Thanksgiving family stuff last weekend. So we didn't get the tree. I said, I don't want a big tree this year. I want like small, skinny, nothing higher than 5 feet. And he was like, perfect. I'm putting on 25% of the ornaments. I just was like, I'll see how I feel. But like,
I took that Christmas box, a box of Christmas stuff, and like one of those blue
like
bin
a tote.
moving
Got your totes.
Yeah, whatever. And put the ornaments out. That was the other thing. He surprised it on me that it was the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Him and Angel went and got, the fake tree.
Angel was also really emotional about the one tree being.
Oh, he was very emotional about the one tree not
tree
being
that was
available.
free.
And so, right. So JD was like, let's go get it. But so then it has me off guard with like, flipping from like, I just hosted now. And I was like, you know what? I did just host. You know what? I don't have the cornucopia even down yet. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take out my small ornament box out of that bin. I'm going to take out the Night Before Christmas book. I'm going to take out the one little thing that I know Angel likes to play with. I'm not putting anything else out.
Yeah.
I got a wreath on the front door. I got a random wreath hanging in the back. I got the stockings up. I feel great.
And you'll put on holiday music.
We put on holiday music every day. We're talking about Christmas music all the time.
I love a good lo-fi holiday mix. That's a great one because you don't have to. Some people that are like, I'm not into Christmas music. I like it. Joe and I put on Happy Holidays, the Andy Williams Happy Holidays. The minute that we were like,
yes.
Joe was like, well, it's December 1st. And I said, put it on, babe. We're doing Happy Holidays going around the house. But yeah, like you're saying, and again, we're not trying to be Scrooge. We love the holidays. I love the togetherness. Christmas is for the kids.
Yes.
I also, again, like I said, if your love language is gift giving, great, fantastic. I give you permission if you really also feel like, oof, Stacey's saying this, I'm listening to it. Morgan and I bought gifts for a teacher off of a teacher wish list this year. That actually, we love our yoga studio, Groundswell. Duffy had shared like, hey, these teachers at a local elementary school need things for their classrooms because we all know teachers don't get paid enough.
And they don't get supplies. They buy their own supplies.
And they have to buy everything for these kids. Yeah. I loved doing that because this is practical, someone in need, and it's benefiting then the children. So there's also a lot of those lists you can find.
Yes, because they're just on Amazon. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you can Google. You can probably just write into, I bet you anything you can write into the search bar on Amazon teacher wish list. And you can probably just buy random
because
teacher
I know
stuff.
there were even celebrities last year that were
Always
like
doing
resharing
that.
with.
Yeah.
But I'm like, especially that because I know it wasn't going to the teacher. Like it was literally being shipped to the school.
Yes, and that's a big one because even the guilt of like these huge nonprofits texting you, can you donate? Can you donate? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, be able to see it get into that person's hand. Or it's like I've bought before for, neighbors. I bought a Christmas tree and stuff like that. It's like Joe and I did that last year too. We did that twice for 2 different families. People that are in need that don't have, the money to buy the tree. Like. And it was like that I remember so much more than,
again, community.
Yeah.
Community. And it's just, it's also, yeah. I mean, I could go on. Like I laugh too. Everyone in our house knows that with wrapping gifts, I also think one of my favorite things, and when I have a child, I'm going to definitely steal this from Morgan. Your baby shower was a sustainable, what did you call it?
Yeah, it was my mother-in-law told me about it because they had done it. I think my cousin-in-law had done it, but it was it was like sustainable and plus everything, like we hosted it. It was down at one of the local like yacht clubs, and which was they're all everything's green because it's the water or whatever. And so it was don't wrap the gift.
Yeah,
just
don't wrap the gift.
Drop the gift.
If you have a registry.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting. It literally will tell you when the gift's been purchased. Don't take that. That was such a nice to like take it off because here's what I don't have. And when I was at the time,
and I'm sorry, that wrapping paper and those bags. are expensive.
Are expensive, but also, again, it's
Wasteful.
trash. You see all the wrapping paper on Christmas Day.
It's terrible.
And again, different Christmas for the kids. But Joe and I literally use brown paper. Like, think of, if you're a Marylander, you know, the brown paper you would use to eat
Have
crabs.
crabs.
Have some crabs. Literally a brown roll of paper that I inherited from Joe because he used it when he had like a side hustle business. He would like wrap stuff in it. And I was like, oh, great. Because he laughed. He's like, oh, I wrap everything in this paper. And then it's also like, we don't write anything on it. Like, I've given it. I remember at the one, I was like, here, you guys can color on this or whatever, the kids. But it's like, even that, I'm still wasting paper, but I'm not then like, did I run out of paper? I don't have any Christmas paper left.
Yeah, and honestly,
I'm slapping a bow on it. I'm reusing ribbons that I've literally collected off of. I do grab
definitely less chemicals and stuff for that.
But if I will say that too, if you're doing the white elephant, what's the point of wrapping the gifts? Why don't you just all walk in the room in the bag that it's from Walgreens or whatever?
Right.
Because some families do that,
totally.
Like the exchange.
Which I do think that's fun to do the random things.
And we do Secret Santa in our side of the family. And it's like, we have a $50 budget. Some of you go over. It's very obvious. Jinx.
Judy,
yeah. But it's $50 because you're like, okay, $50, whatever. And you pick somebody's name, because that way we get gifts for the nieces and nephews. And I don't need to be getting Morgan something that she could get herself. And we even did that as kids. Like, I went the sisters before we were ever even married. I remember going shopping together one time for gifts, and we were like, literally one time it was like underwear. We were like, oh, we all need this or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, this is from me. This is from me. Just say.
We would always do that.
This is what you're getting. Or one year we went to Britney Spears. And we were like,
we do cocktails, happy hour too.
Yeah, we do cocktails and be like, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it was just one less thing.
One less thing. I'll take you one further on the wrapping paper. You remember what I do. I just literally take my brown paper bags from the grocery store and I just cut them, and then Angel and I draw on them. We literally draw like happy holidays and whatever.
That's what I should do. I should outsource Angel for that and be like, hey, do you want to decorate paper? That's actually really cute. You could do that for him. And
he loves
talk
doing
about
it.
time. Get him some stampers.
Oh yeah, that's good. He would love that. But yeah, I mean,
we used to back in the day with potatoes. Oh, remember those? Cut out a star.
Yes. Ooh, he would love that, making our own, because I could even do that out of something in the yard, like some wood or something.
Yeah. Beechwood.
I totally would.
You were probably like, what the fuck is going on? And is Angel okay? He's great. He's
great. Thriving. We're always crafting with random crap around the house and the yard.
And again, it's not like we love the holidays, we love the togetherness, but it's the community stuff that we miss. They're trying to bring that back. But I think, like you said earlier too, I love that about the tree story with you and JD, because it's like, so much does typically get put on the mom or the matriarch, the woman, to do the traditions and carry it out. It's why you see it happen in so many families where it's like the grandmother passes away and they're like, oh, we don't really do Christmas anymore. We don't get up together anymore, because, the guys usually aren't taking it on. Mm-hmm. It becomes so much. The moms are sending out the Christmas cards and orchestrating the photo and writing the little note and all that. And again, if you want to do that, that's great and that's fine. But also, if you say to your partner, and I'm saying partner, because it doesn't even have to be a male.
No, totally.
And they're like, it's too much this year. And they're like, okay, well, don't do it. Or if you're asking them for help and they're like, I'm not, and you don't, then just don't do it. Like,
don't do it.
Sometimes you need that reminder.
And also, just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. I do like receiving the Christmas cards and the photos of my friends and family from around the world, which is also why I understand.
But do you keep them all?
I keep the ones, like I keep my nieces and nephews, and I keep like certain people that are just like Andiacs. I do keep, I don't know.
She's like naming names.
But I don't know why, but his is always just whatever. It's our thing. But like, there are certain ones that I keep, but most of them, no, I get rid of them, but I'm excited to see the one from next year. But my point is that I know that people do like to receive my update as well. People will text and say, thanks so much. And I think that's my point of, just because everyone's doing it at Christmas or the holiday, this, December, January holiday season doesn't mean you have to do that. It is totally okay if the 4th of July, if Juneteenth, if, whatever is your thing, you can send anything anytime you want. If it's stressful, it doesn't mean there's no rules in life. I think that's what I get sick of is people pretending like we have these rules. Yeah. And it's not. That's not.
Rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like the other year we didn't do Christmas. Joe and I went to New Hampshire. We went skiing. Yeah. It was great. Yeah. Just going to say, we had a freaking blast. We didn't worry about, you're like, you don't get to see your family, but it was just something we did for us and no regrets.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's totally okay.
It's just one day. But anyway, again, holidays are great. We love them.
We love the lights.
I'm literally going to go decorate my tree this afternoon.
I'm going to go, probably ride around and look at Christmas lights with Angel later.
But just don't burn yourselves out.
Don't burn yourself out.
That's the thing, because I do feel like everybody can relate to this in this, post 2020, post COVID, because we all had a year off of doing a lot of things and things being such a quick pace. Literally the speed of change, even with technology, it's faster than ever, right? That's just facts. Mm-hmm. You can't get out of it. And so when you're seeing others and what they're doing and the new little Pinterest thing and how cute they decorate their house this way, we should try that. Go into your COVID bubble and just say, Christmas is for the kids. But it's also why you will never find me doing Elf on the Shelf. That's all I'll say.
Wait, why not Elf on the Shelf?
Because it's so much extra time. You know, my parents
What do they do? What I don't even really understand
every
the whole thing of
night
it.
leading up to Christmas, they hide the elf in a new place that's saying so it's like a thing. And some parents have told me I never should have done this. I overcommitted.
Well, how hard is it to hide it? Are they just hiding it around the house?
People don't just hide it. They're doing a whole, the elf got into marshmallows and the elf leaving a note.
Oh, no.
It's like leaving a note for Santa every night up until Christmas.
What? No, I thought you were just moving around. I was assuming I'd be putting the couch cushion.
And then when they forget to do it, they're freaking out.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's a lot of work. And some people are you have to get these on Instagram where it's the detail.
I honestly never thought about it being an every
They're
night
putting
thing.
Barbies in with it.
I don't think I realized it was every night. So they supposed to start December 1st? Mm-hmm. See, I don't have any energy for that. I didn't even know it was a thing. I really thought this was people just taking photos and stuff like that. You find it. I actually think I was kind of thinking it's maybe the week leading up or
no.
Oh my God, no. Do less.
Mara had one of those. Mom never did it. Thank God. I don't think it was so new then. It was it became, again, Instagram.
You know what?
Instagram made it a thing.
Yeah. And again, that's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing.
I mean, if you like it and you're getting off on that, I love that for you, but I'm not doing anything that's adding stress.
Yeah. And if your kid was if Angel's why don't we have an elf at our house? And you're I don't know.
Now,
must be allergic to Stormy.
Snoop on the Shelf at Thrive, our local dispensary.
Oh, they do have. They also have Martha on the shelf.
They're doing Snoop on the Shelf, and whoever finds it up until Christmas, you get. I can't remember what the thing was. It's you either get something or you get a discount. I think it's you get a discount. I'm sure there's I'm sure they can't give away weed or something. But
yeah, I would definitely
cannabis. But yeah, or it would be funny among your friends. Maybe I'll do this for next year. Is Snoop on the Shelf, and wherever it is. It's got a little joint in it.
Oh, absolutely.
And then it's only when hey, did somebody do it today? It doesn't have to be a required thing. It's stoner. I did 5 times.
That would be funny to do at a party. Actually, that's the fun one I would get behind. Do it at that Christmas party this year.
And you just keep doing
Bring a Snoop on the shelf. Yeah, one day.
And you just move it as many times as you want.
I did that with Blicky and Angela when I lived with them. My friend Adam and Angela, when we lived together in Baltimore, we jokingly would hide a little pumpkin. Just as a bit. We just started doing it, put in different places around the house.
I love it.
But then to do the reward of if you find it, you get a J that night.
Oh, I love
or
that.
If you're not a smoker, maybe it's a drink or whatever.
Or just.
But it's come meet me outside. Time to light up.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. I love that.
Okay. Well, anyway, see, there we go. Adding new holiday traditions to your plate.
New homes, new traditions.
Anyway, happy holidays. Don't forget to review us, love us, like us, share us
far and wide, you guys.
And do something for somebody else. Yeah. Christmas is for the kids, and try to support your local community by shopping local.
And do less. Divas, diffs.
Divas, diffs.